Richard Childress Racing just made a move that nobody was really talking about, and it is quietly one of the bigger stories heading into this weekend's race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. To understand why this matters, you have to go back a few weeks. The 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season started with the Daytona 500 on February 15th, then moved to Atlanta the following weekend. Those were races 1 and 2. But starting with Race 3 at Circuit of the Americas and Race 4 at Phoenix, RCR did something no other team was doing. They brought out a third car, the number 33 Chevrolet, as an open entry. That means it does not have a charter. Now, if you are not sure what a charter is, here is the simple version. In NASCAR's Cup Series, there are 36 charters. Think of them like golden tickets. If your team has one, you are guaranteed a starting spot in every single race, and you get a bigger share of the prize money. If you do not have one, you have to qualify on speed. You are not guaranteed anything, and you take home a lot less money, even if you make the race. Running without a charter is a big financial gamble every single week. RCR took that gamble at COTA and Phoenix, and they were the only team in the entire Cup Series doing it. At Circuit of the Americas, they handed the keys of the number 33 to Jesse Love. Love is 20 years old and races full-time for RCR in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, which is NASCAR's second biggest series, one step below the Cup level. He is a talented young driver with a bright future, but COTA was something completely new for him. It was his first time ever driving a Cup Series car on a road course. That is a big ask for anyone, let alone someone still learning the ropes at the Cup level. Love did his best, but the result was a 27th place finish. For a car running without a charter, without the same resources as the big full-time teams, and with a driver making his road course debut in the Cup Series, it was a tough day. Then the series headed to Phoenix Raceway for Race 4. This time, RCR switched drivers. Austin Hill climbed into the number 33. Hill is also an RCR driver in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and Phoenix was his first Cup Series start of the entire 2026 season. He came in with a clear goal, a top 20 finish. Simple enough target, but not easy to pull off in an open car against 35 chartered full-time teams. The day started okay. The car had some speed early, but then it tightened up, which means it stopped turning as well as the driver needed it to. And then things got worse. Hill cut a tire while running under green flag conditions, meaning the race was live, no caution, full speed, and that dropped him several laps behind the leaders. Most drivers in that spot just survive and finish wherever they land. Hill and his team did not give up. After the race, Hill explained exactly what went down, saying, "Our United Rentals team had to grind that one out. Our Chevrolet fired off on the free side, but then it quickly turned tight. It took us a while to get on the other side of it, but we got ourselves inside the top 20 when we cut down a tire under green. No one gave up, and we kept pushing forward to end up with a 21st place finish. The more I drive these Cup cars, the more I learn of how loose the car needs to be to make speed. I came into the weekend saying that a top 2-0 would be a good day for the number 33 team. We came up just short, but can build on today. We'll try again in a few weeks." That quote tells you everything about where the number 33 program stands right now. The goal was a top 20. They finished 21st, one spot away. Hill is learning, the team is grinding, and they are being honest about where they are. But here is the reality. 2 races, 2 finishes outside the top 20, and a lot of money spent with no charter money coming back in. That math gets very hard to justify very quickly. So, for Las Vegas, RCR made the call. The number 3 is not entered. This weekend's Penso 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway will have exactly 36 cars on the grid. All 36 of them are full-time chartered teams, 0 open entries. Every single driver in that race holds a full-time Cup Series seat. It is the first time in the 2026 season that has happened. Now, this is not something that has literally never happened before in NASCAR history. Since the charter system started in 2016, there have been races, especially during 2020 and 2021, when practice and qualifying were paused, where the field was exactly 36 chartered cars. But what makes this stand out is the timing. It is only race 5 of the 2026 season, and for comparison, this same thing happened just 4 times across all of 2025. For RCR specifically, the decision makes sense when you look at the full picture. Las Vegas is a 1.5-mile intermediate oval. These types of tracks tend to favor teams with the most resources, the best setups, and the most data. For an open car with limited funding and part-time drivers still finding their footing in Cup equipment, Las Vegas is not an ideal spot to spend big money chasing a result that likely would have looked similar to Phoenix. But, and this is important, the number 33 is not shutting down for the year. RCR has a plan, and they are being smart about which races they target. Jesse Love is expected to be back in the car at Talladega Superspeedway in April. Talladega is a superspeedway, which is a totally different style of racing. At superspeedways, cars race in one giant pack, and big wrecks can shuffle the running order dramatically. An open car at Talladega has a realistic shot at a strong finish, because the playing field is a lot more level than it is at a track like Las Vegas. It is a smart choice of race to target. Austin Hill is also expected to make at least 4 more starts in the number 33 Cup car before the season is over. Hill made it clear after Phoenix that he is still learning and still growing in the Cup car. More laps will help him. The experience is valuable, even when the results are not perfect. So the number 33 story is not finished. It is just pausing for a week. Now, the number 33 is the headline going into Vegas. But there is another major storyline that cannot be ignored. Alex Bowman is still not racing. Bowman drives the number 48 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, one of the biggest and most successful teams in NASCAR history. After the COTA race, Bowman was diagnosed with vertigo. Vertigo is a condition where everything feels like it is spinning, which is obviously not great when you are trying to drive a race car at nearly 200 miles per hour. Since then, 3 different drivers have been called in to fill his seat. At COTA, Matt Cinder stepped in during the final laps when Bowman had to stop. At Phoenix, Anthony Alfredo took over the number 48 for the whole race. And this weekend at Las Vegas, Justin Alge gets the call. Alge is not a stranger to filling in for big Cup teams. Back in 2020, he sat in for Jimmy Johnson at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In 2024, he filled in for Kyle Larson at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He also ran the Daytona 500 with JR Motorsports in both 2025 and 2026. He knows how to walk into a situation like this and handle it professionally. There is still no word on when Bowman will be back. No timeline, no updates on his recovery. After Sunday, he will have missed multiple races again. And this is actually the 3rd time in 5 seasons that Bowman has had to miss several races in a row. Hopefully he gets healthy soon, but right now Algier is the man in the number 48. The Penso 400 is set for Sunday, March 15th, at 4:00 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. It is 267 slaps around the 4-turn, 1.5-mile Las Vegas Motor Speedway oval. 36 cars, 2 big storylines, and a race that already has more going on behind the scenes than most people realize.